Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to reheat your prime rib leftovers while maintaining the juiciness and texture of just fresh out of the oven prime rib. My name is Anita, welcome to my channel. This is where I show you how I've lost 145 pounds following an animal-based ketogenic way of eating. Today we're going to reheat some prime rib. It's not just a matter of throwing it in the microwave. We pay good money for prime rib. I'm in Canada, so we pay even more money than most of you who are watching. I've been hearing about sales on prime rib, $4.99 a pound, $6.99 a pound. Here the best I can do is somewhere, the lowest I've seen is $10.88 a pound, and it wasn't for the best quality. I mean, I would buy it at that price because it would still be good. But the Canada AAA, AAA, whatever you want to call it, is on sale right now nearby at Fairway Market for $14.99 a pound. That is like a heck of a deal. So that's the kind of prices we're looking at. Normally, we're looking in the range of $20 to $25 a pound for prime rib roast, if you're lucky. What we want to do, it is so delicious coming out of the oven. What we want to do when we heat up the leftovers is to have that experience all over again. So yesterday was Christmas here. Merry Christmas, everybody. We had prime rib. And so I have some leftovers here that I want to show you how I would heat them up so that they are still, nice and pink. I mean, just look at that. It turned out beautiful. It is, almost end to end, medium rare. The cap is, it wasn't overcooked. You can still see a little bit of pink in the cap there. We want to replicate that the next day or the day after. So I will show you how I do. This will be an oven method, and I'm going to show you how to do it in the sous vide as well. So there are, you could do it in your air fryer. The oven method I will show you can be done in the air fryer. Just use the same settings. It's, especially if you're just doing a couple of slices. You can also cut it up and, fry it with some eggs and be happy with that. But I want to have the same juicy, tender slices that I had yesterday when I first cut this off the roast. So let's get the sous vide going. Always make sure that you have a trivet underneath so that you don't burn your counter or overheat that. This will get hot. I'm going to set this at 130 degrees for 1 hour. So we will let that come to the right temperature. So it's only 1 hour because it's already cooked. What I did was I put this leftover prime rib. I vacuum sealed it in my vacuum sealer. You can use a Ziploc bag. You want to use BPA-free Ziploc bags. You want to use the heavier freezer quality, not the cheap dollar store plastic bags. I like to use these because all the air is out. If you're going to use a regular plastic bag, you need to sort of squeeze all the air out before you seal it. And, that you just don't want any air in here. I've put a pad of butter on each of these pieces here. And so my goal is that this is going to be just like it came out. So there's pros and cons of doing it by sous vide, and we'll just go over that while this is heating up. The pros are this is going to really replicate closely the results of when it was freshly out of the oven. And it is fairly easy, but you have to have a sous vide. So not everybody has a sous vide. I highly recommend them if you are a carnivore or you just want to save money on meat, because budget meat can be really good in the sous vide. The other thing, if you didn't want to put butter in here, is you could use tallow, or you could even use about a 1/4 cup of beef broth or bone broth or leftover juices from when you baked your prime rib. All right, we are there. I am going to lower this in, and I just use bag clips to clip the bag to the side here, and that will keep it nice and secure. You just want it all to be underwater. It's only an hour, it just has to reheat. And by the way, this is my Instant Pot inner liner. You can use any pot, any regular pot that your sous vide wand fits into. So we'll see you in an hour when this is done. All right, it's been an hour in the sous vide, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see what we have here. Time to cut it open from the bag. I perhaps could have gone to 125. Let me see what happens when we cut into it. I know this piece here was quite thin. Let's take a look. It's a little pink inside. This one looks good. So I want to see if it's warm enough because, you know, this was a thick piece. Let's see how that worked. So the texture is good and the temperature is good. It's warm all the way through. I want to see what the texture is of this one here. That is a little more, it is not pink, Teddy. It's not pink, but it's super tender. So I mean, definitely still going to be eating this. So I think I kind of like the oven way. It seemed to retain that pink color. The piece that I put in the oven may have been a little bit thicker than this. This was kind of a thin piece. But, you know, I think either of these ways are better than trying to microwave it or making it so that it's tough. They're at least both tender. So in our next segment, we will be doing it in the oven to see how that turns out. I like this because it's tender and it's tender and moist and juicy. It just isn't pink. So let's see if the oven method gives us a better result. Okay, see you in the next segment. Okay, so I have another piece of prime rib here. This is a good candidate for reheating in the oven. The secret is you want to keep it moist and juicy, and this will do it. So I'm going to put on a couple of tablespoons of butter. You don't have to like spread it or anything. It'll melt. I have the oven set to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So that should do. So this is just a piece of parchment paper. The only purpose of the parchment paper is so that the foil doesn't touch my meat. I'm just going to fold it over like this. I'm just going to make a little packet, and now I am going to wrap it up in the foil. Okay, so I'm going to put this in at 200 degrees. I'm going to put this in for 30 minutes and then take it out and we'll see what we have. And again, just like with when we did the sous vide version of this, you can substitute tallow, or you could even pour some of your juices, your meat juices on there instead of the butter. I like how it turns out with the butter. You could use bacon grease as well. So I'm just going to toss this in the oven. That's baking for 30 minutes. Now, if you wanted to, if you have an air fryer, I could have done this in my air fryer over there because it's a small, especially if you're doing 1 or 2 slices, it's a small package. Do it exactly the same way that I did there, and set your air fryer. You can use the bake option or the roast option and set it to 200 for 30 minutes, and it should give you the same result pretty much. I like to alternate back and forth between my air fryer and my oven because I get some people say, well, I don't have an air fryer, what do I do? I don't, or I'd rather use my air fryer. How do I make it in my air fryer instead? My preference actually is to use the smaller appliance, the air fryer, but I just want to do both sometimes. So they're the same, basically. Whether you do it in the air fryer or the oven, it's the same. And I'll show you the results when we're back in 30 minutes. Okay, time to take it out of the oven. It has been in there for 30 minutes. Let's see what we have. Let's give this a taste.
Yummy.
We've got a little bit of crispiness. We didn't have to do anything else. It was a reverse seared prime rib. It all looks good. It smells good. It's still very pink. So I want to try this portion of it. Okay, let's give it a try. This is a really good way to heat it up. It is still pink. The edges are crispy now, and it tastes just the same texture and moisture. So yeah, I love it. Thank you for watching today's video. I know that a lot of you have leftover prime rib this week because of all those sales, and you probably bought some for New Year's. So after New Year's Eve, yeah, you've got a way to reheat your prime rib leftovers and enjoy them all over again. So thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next video.
Yeah, 5A mark. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna have to cut out what I said about the oven because I mentioned the oven way. Yeah. I shouldn't have done the oven. Okay, so in our next segment, you're gonna have to cut out what I see doing it about the oven because we have 30 minutes now, and over here we have 48 minutes. Once I take it out of the oven, yeah, let's try this portion of it. Sorry, hang on. I stuck it in my mouth. Yeah, wait for the door. Hang on, I gotta swallow the first piece. I'm gonna have fun with this.